So guys, if you remember, last what we have achieved is how to first load an image, then move an image and bounce it at the edges and give the sound, right? Let's call that was in step 8. So now what we will do, start doing, let's say next level of this, where we create the paddle. What name we give? We call it, let's say step 9, and we call it paddle tutorial, right? Paddle tutorial step 9. Now what we will do here, our requirement is very simple. Let's say this is the ball which is moving, right? What we supposed to do? We supposed to get a paddle, right? A paddle which looks like, I'm not sure where are all my shapes, but let's say a paddle which looks like here, color we will be choosing, and this paddle we will be making it to bounce. So the very first thing is, let's create the paddle and move it in the side, stop the code. And after stopping the code, what we should do, the first thing, is let's go here, and because earlier only ball was there, so this comment was not important. Now it becomes important. What we call it, say ball, right? Variables. And same way, let's go here, and you can always put let. The let makes it a little bit more better, right? So now say paddle paddle variables, right? And backslash to comment it. Now what we'll do, let's say paddle paddle x. Again, I'm forgetting the let, but you should not forget let x. And what we need, another thing, let paddle paddle y, and like that, two more thing. It should be, let's do copy paste so it will be little bit easier, and do paddle w, which is the width, h, which is the height. Now remember, in all these variables which you do not have to change, for example, let's say paddle height and width will be fixed, right? So it will be very easy. What I'll do, I can do it here only. Paddle height, let's say, what do you want? You want 30, 20, 15? That 15 is good enough. Let's put 15. Let's say paddle width, if I want 60, I can put here 60. But if I want it directly in proportion of the what is my screen size, then I can't do it here, right? So, but let's say I am right now, I'm doing it 50. Let's do it here. Paddle Y, that will be continuously changing. That is the position, right? And paddle X, which is how where my paddle should be situating, that I can put right now, but I want to put it in terms of screen. So once the screen or canvas is created, then I will do it here. So I will write paddle x equal to 0.8 into window height, right? My spelling something is wrong, otherwise the color should have got changed. WINDOW is missing, so put H. Yeah, right. So now, and if this is enough, I should able to create, but before that, just let me go here, and here let me mention paddle Y, which is nothing but mouse Y, right? Now let's create a rectangle. So let's create here, call it rect, and this rect should be paddle x, comma, paddle y, comma, a double e, paddle w, comma, paddle height. If all the things are correct, we should get a rectangle there. Let's see, we get it or not. So let's go here, click on the thing, and we got a rectangle. Now somebody will say, why two rectangles? The two rectangles only, and I did a mistake, right? What should have been X? I did Y. What should have been Y? I did X. So here, what I should have done, paddle, not paddle X, paddle Y should have been this, and this should have been paddle X, and this should have been mouse X, my bad. And now it's high time that whatever we created earlier, let's delete that and now run it again. And we have our paddle, but still there is no way we haven't put the physics where we say how to it get bounced on the paddle. So very first thing for that, what we have to do, we have to say the moment it touches this, then it should be bouncing, right? So to do that, let's understand quickly. So what I'll do, I'll share my whiteboard so I can explain you what we are trying to do, right? So here quickly, I will teach you how to, right? So how we can, so let's imagine this is our full screen, right? And in this screen, this was our ball, right? And in the same screen, here was my paddle. Is this clear? Now, the very first thing is I should know when my ball should be. So always remember, see, when I'm clicking this, though it's a ball, it is inside a square. So always we will think that there is an imaginary square. And once that imaginary square and these things are there, based on that, we will be acting and reacting. So let's go here like this and till look here. Whatever happens, if my ball is above this, so only what I have to check, the lowest point of my ball, if it is above than the highest point of my rectangle, they cannot touch wherever other points are, right? So if in Y it is above this, or if it is in Y below this. So let's try to put it like this, that if I think the two imaginary line, so wherever my ball is, if my ball is above this, or my ball is below this, or my ball is this side of this, or my ball is this side of this. In this case, directly what I have to say, they two are not touching. Other place, whenever it is touching, what you will do for simple of thing, because we are only playing this thing, what you will do the moment it is touching, the speed y, so y direction means if it was coming in this direction, then we will change it and it will start going in this direction. So we will only and only we will change the y direction of the thing. All other things will remain same, right? So how we will do in the code? One, it's simple, one is complex. The simple thing, what you will say, we say, okay, let's think like this. This has a center and this also has a center. So let's say this is the center, right? And then center plus radius is its lower point, center plus this thing is its highest point. So what I will say simply, if let's say x of this is higher than this, right? In that case, it is not touching, else it is touching. So I'm stopping this share right now, right? So I'll stop this. I'll stop this and I will share my screen again. And let's go to my screen. And here we will write the code. So already we know now the paddle and we already know the things related to the paddle. So we will create a new function. The new function, what we will call function is colliding, right? So here we are creating our own physics. We could have done something where this thing is not required. Now, if you want to check is it colliding or not, what we should know so many things. So let's say what should be the input? Bx means ball x, by means ball y, ball size, let's say b size bs, right? Or say b ball width, That solves the problem. Ball size, let's say put ball size. Then what you will do, paddle. So say px, then say py, then say pw, and then say ph, right? And this thing will tell us it is touching or not, right? So how we will do that? So let's go here and we will put or conditions, and according to that we will do, right? And initially what we will do, if we are doing, if before that we will do it there. So let's do it here and say now if, right? If, and in if, what we will do, first thing is bx is less than, right? Bx means this side. So think again, like let me draw, if we, that helps you to understand. So let's think this is my paddle here, and somehow my ball is here. I'm talking about this situation, right? So if, what simply I have to say, if my, yeah, so let's go here and say if bx is smaller than px, right? If bx is smaller than px, that ball cannot touch itself at all. Or if I want to make it more accurate, otherwise Aryan and some other student, what they will say? They will say, oh, still my ball is going a little bit inside. That is not good. So the better way is if I say bx plus bs was the size. Let's take the size as a radius of this, right? So bx plus bs is less than this. That means even this thing plus that extra size is there. Still, if it is less than px, then for sure it is not touching. Or this is the or symbol. Or we can do just opposite. Just opposite is what? If bx is greater than. So that means now think our ball has come from there to, and I'm trying to move the ball, but rather than moving, it's changing the shape. Can I move? I'm not sure. Can I move? No. So how I take it there? Yeah, I don't know. Whatever I'm doing, the ball is not moving. So let's see, with this, can I move the ball? Then also I can't move the ball. This is not to move. Okay, looks like I may not be able to move the ball, so I will generate another ball. So let's delete this and generate another ball, which is this side of this, right? So this side of this is even, that means in very simple word, if I say this was my px and py, right? This is my new center. So simple, I can say if px plus the width, which is pw, right, is greater than bx minus, sorry, it's lesser than bx minus this. So if bx minus bs, which is ball size, is still greater than px minus p, sorry, px plus pw, right? Now the same thing you have to do for this thing. So this time what you will say, if by is by plus bs is lesser than py, right? Or I put here also I forgot the or symbol, right? And yeah, and then another thing is if by is greater than, or by, again by minus ps, if still it is greater than py plus ph, right? So that's all. So now bracket is closed. So let's say bracket closed, we can bring here. If that gives us a little bit easier, or we can have it here. In that case, if all these conditions are meeting, then what we should do? Then we can write, if this is the condition, then what we will write? So colliding is, so then say collision, let's say false, right? Else, what you will say? Collision is equal to true, right? So I hope this is giving you a fair idea. So how we do this thing, Hmm. right? So we have done this. Now only let's do one change rather than creating a variable directly. We can say return, right? And here also we can say return here. Yeah. And now I'll call this function there is colliding, right? And then see what happens, right? So where should I call this function? If you know, I go to the draw. Let's say rectangle has been drawn. A ball size, this is happening. And apart from that, here I can call this function where I can say is colliding. Colliding. Right? Now the problem is, now we have to pass on the actual values. Actual values are ball x, right? Comma, ball y, comma, now ball size bs. Ball size is what? Let's go up and see what size was there. Size we were putting 2020. So let's see later on when we have called the image, do we have used the size only? So in the image time directly, we did not use the size. So we used TT ball X, ball Y, 20 and 20. And now the 20 and 20, I'm not sure it is the, so let's put right now here. So there we have put size X, size Y, right? So let's put here size X and size y. To keep it consistent, let's put capital. Here also let's put capital, and here also let's put capital. Here also let's put capital. And now where I was writing is colliding, there let's write size. Now you can write anything, size x or size y, because in both cases it is a square, so won't make a difference. And then what we write here, so ball x is fine, ball y is fine, size x is fine. Then it's like p a double d l e, so parallel x, then p a double d l e, then parallel y, then p a double d l e, parallel width, and then PA pedal height, right? And we are, so that means we have called the function, right? Now here what we can do, we can say return true, right? And return false. And rather than doing return true and return false, I can write here. So we can write simple thing is here, if is colliding, right? So that means it will be changing the thing. In that case, what we will do, we will change the direction. So we'll say speed y equal to -1. So multiply. Whatever speed direction is there, please multiply. Now for sure, when we write the code, we do multiple errors. Before that, let me clear all my drawings and let's run it. If everything is fine, we will run. Otherwise, we will solve the thing. Somehow to my Astonishment, there is error, but not much. Size X is not defined, so we have used size X somewhere. And later on, we have changed this. So let's say size Y. Here also, let's say size Y. I was not aware I've used it, else I would not have changed. So, but because now we have done, so let's change it. And I hope so no other place I have used. So let's run and see. Still something is there. Ball X is not defined. Ball X is not defined. Oh, ball X, ball Y is also small. That is very bad. Let's make them also capital. Right? Always have one notions. Let's make a speed X also capital and speed Y also capital. Now, quickly, let's go everywhere and correct it. Wherever it is, nothing is there till now, nothing is there till now. Pedal X already corrected. Ball X, let's make it capital. Speed X also, let's make it capital. Speed Y also, let's make it capital. Speedy Y, let's make it capital. Then, oh my God, so many places, but it's a good idea. Keep doing it. Don't worry. It looks like it will take a lot of time, but it will not. Soon we will able to do that. And once we will do, at least we will have same thing everywhere. In future, take care that we don't do the errors like this. Ball Y, capital Y, and then this thing is fine. Speedy again becomes capital, and then yeah. Now let's run. Let's see when ball comes. Are we able to? Yeah, we are able to create the effect. Only thing that time the sound did not come. If you see, so to get the sound, what we have to do, right? So whenever it is true, here only I can play the ball sound, right? Again, means I could have done this inside the function also, but I am doing it here, right? Yeah. Now it is happening. And so we did a good job. So now paddle is there and we are able to move it. Yo. So that's all. In next part, what we will do, we have to add our hit, score, lives, all the things. And from there, we will take it further. Right? So thank you.